Kodu Game Lab. In this course, you will learn how to use your creative skills to design games using Kodu and see your game characters respond to your programming. In this module, you will learn basic programming with a block of codes as well as game designing. For this course, you will need to install the Kodu Game Lab software on your computer. You can download it from the Kodu website or Microsoft Store. This course covers the very basic of game design with Kodu Game Lab and is suitable for those with little or no knowledge of game design. Now, before we begin this lesson, let's take a look at our objectives. For this lesson, we'll discuss what Kodu Game Lab is and what it is used for. Then we'll look at the uses of the Kodu Game Lab main menu. And finally, we'll also learn to identify the tools in the Kodu Game Lab. The key skills you learn from this lesson will prepare you for the future workplace. These key skills are available in this module and will provide you with relevant 21st century key skills such as storyboarding, creative thinking, logical reasoning, and problem solving. So when you think video or computer games, what comes to your mind? Candy Crush, Need for Speed, or even soccer? Now these are great games, but what if we can design our own game? Wouldn't that be awesome? Before we begin, what is game design? Game design is the art of applying creative design to build a game. There are lots of applications with which you can create your own game. What is Kodu? Kodu is a programming environment for building games. It is made up of characters and objects that respond to do. Now in Kodu, each bot or object can be then programmed to do something by writing a script. Kodu was built on the C# programming language and it was built by Microsoft. Now in the next phase of this lesson, you will need to launch a Kodu game computer so we can explore the Kodu main menu and the Kodu tools menu. To begin, launch from your computer and let's move around the Kodu main menu. You'll be shown a list of options and we're going to learn about them. To launch your Kodu Game Lab software, double-click on the Kodu Game Lab icon. When that is done, your Kodu Game Lab should come up and running. Click in, and then we should have this interface. While the Load World menu shows all the projects that you have been working on. The Community menu. The Community menu brings you a variety of games with which you can start to create your own game from. It also brings you different ideas on Kodu that can inspire you to start creating a new game. As the name denotes, it is a community of people who have uploaded their games into Kodu, and from there you can see what other people are doing while you're also creating your own game. From the community menu, you can also search for available games that is on Kodu and from which you can start building your own game from the scratch. The options menu. Remember the settings on your phone, maybe your computer, or even your tablet. The options menu on Kodu performs similar tasks. It allows you to modify your Kodu world, reduce the volume, change the colors and other features on Kodu. But I will advise you to mind how you work within the options menu on Kodu so you don't end up scattering your application. The help menu. Sometimes we need help when we are stuck. The help menu explains how Kodu works, so you can always come back there to find your way out. The help menu shows you navigation. It explains what the Kodu Game Lab is all about. It explains what each tool is all about, and also explains some other basic things on Kodu with which you can boost your knowledge on game design. The Quit Kodu. Remember the X icon on your laptop or the shutdown menu on your computer. The Quit Kodu menu allows you to exit Kodu when you're done with your design. So each time you're done designing with Kodu, you can always exit Kodu using the Quit Kodu menu icon. Alright, now that we have learned about the main menu on Kodu, let's learn about the tools on Kodu. To learn about the tools on Kodu, we'll select New World and then we choose blank terrain so we can explore the tools on Kodu. This is the Kodu world, a default world with a plain terrain on Kodu Game Lab. Now the first icon we have here is the Home Menu tool. The Home Menu tool, when selected, takes you back to a variety of options with which you can play your world, edit your world, save your world, share your world to the community menu, load your world, create a new world, or print your code for the level. What print a code for the level means, it gives you a file which contains all your game, which you can give to your friends for them to play on their Kodu Game Lab. And then finally we have exit main to main menu, which takes you back to the main menu on Kodu Game Lab. The next two menu we have is the Play Game menu. The Play Game Tools menu allows you to play your game when you're done designing them. So each time you're done designing your game, you can always try it out by clicking on the Play menu. The Move Camera Tools menu. The Move Camera Tools menu allows you to navigate around your game. With the Move Camera Tools menu, using your mouse or your trackpad, holding down the right click, you're able to rotate your world, while holding down the left click, you're able to move your world. The Object Tools menu. The Object Tools menu provides you with a variety of characters and objects on Kodu Game Lab. So each time you select the Kodu Object Tools menu and you left click anywhere on the terrain, it provides you with a list of options for you to choose characters and objects from, where we have Kodu, rover, apple, and other objects including trees, pipes, and rocks for you to choose from. The Path Tools menu. With the Path Tools menu, you are able to create paths on Kodu that you can program an object to follow. You'll find this tool very useful in other lessons on game design with Kodu that we'll be working on. The Ground Brush. With the Ground Brush, holding down the left click of the ground brush, you're able to create new grounds on your world. And holding the right click, you're able to delete the ground. You can increase the size of the ground you want to create by using the left arrow key on your keyboard to reduce the size and using the right arrow keyboard to increase the size. And when you left click, you can have a larger terrain because you have increased the size. The ground brush also provides you option for selecting different patterns on your game. The Up and Downhill tool menu. With the Up-Down tool menu, you're able to create hills and walls on Kodu. Holding down the left click creates walls and holding down the right click levels down the walls again. The Flatten tool menu. With the Flatten tool menu, you're able to smoothen surfaces on Kodu Game Lab. With the Flatten tool menu, when you have a rough edge, holding down the left click will flatten it and level it up with the ground. So it doesn't become a wall or a hill anymore, it becomes a bump on the terrain. Then we have the Roughing or Create Spike tool menu, which allows you to create spikes on your terrain while you're building your game. With the left click, you're able to create spikes on your terrain. And then we have the Water tool menu. With the Water tool menu, you're able to create ponds, rivers, and even oceans on your game. Holding down the left click over a terrain will build water over your game, and holding down the right click will reduce the water level also. And then we have the Delete tool menu, which allows you to delete objects from your terrain and also is also used to create and clear your terrain as you build your game on. And then finally, with the tools menu, we have the change world settings, which provides a variety of options to edit and customize your world further as you build your world on the go. All right, so these are the tools menu on Kodu Game Lab that we have explored. Get a pen and a paper. Let's take a short quiz. We have 5 questions for us to puzzle our mind with to gauge our learning progress through this lesson. What is the Kodu Game Lab application built on? By who? When you open Kodu, the first thing you see is called what? What tools menu allows you to play your game? And finally, to get back to the last game you were building, what menu should you choose? If you have been able to get all 5 answers correctly, then you have done well. Otherwise, you can start the lesson from the beginning to find out the answers to each of these questions. The Kodu Game Lab is built on the C# programming language. It was built by the Microsoft Corporation. And when you open Kodu, the first thing you see is called the interface. The tool menu that allows you to play your game is called the Play Game tool menu. And then finally, to get back to the last game you were building, you should choose the Resume Main menu. All right. So let's take a recap of what we've learned so far. We have learned what Kodu is and what Kodu is used for. We have learned about the Kodu main menu. And then we have also identified the Kodu tools menu and the way they are applied. So there are other lessons on the Kodu Game Lab that we'll be exploring in this module. Thank you once more for this lesson. See you in the next class.